Bien, bien.
Yeah. Good.
Sí,
Good.
I'm recording. ¿Está
Thanks
bien?
Thanks for sending me a text.
Sure. Everything good?
All good.
Qué
So tell
bueno,
me,
qué bueno.
Adi, your oldest?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
He seems like he's a bit of a character.
Yeah, he makes fun of me. He's the
Well,
talker.
That can only mean one thing.
He's the talker. The other one is more reserved. But yeah, last night I went to bed late because, we were talking. It was just, talking. And Kaliang is the one that doesn't share very much. So last night, there's a dynamic that happens where, Adi helps in the translation, not in the language, but because Adi seems to understand where I'm coming from better. So that I can speak to Kaliang and Kaliang can understand. Because if Kaliang doesn't understand something or he gets easily offended. Adi is like, no, that's not what she means. And I'm like, okay. So there's a dynamic that happens there. And I was talking to Kaliang. Not that I said we need to sit down and talk. It just happened organically about his situation with school. Because I had to talk with the guidance counselor at the school. So it was good, I think. I think. So we have leo la lección. I read a lesson for today. I'm going to read it in Spanish because it seems to not stick when I read it in English. Vamos a la 3:43. No se me pide que haga ningún sacrificio.
Wait, sorry. Which one are you reading?
Yeah, 3:43.
Okay, thank you.
No se me pide que haga ningún sacrificio para encontrar la misericordia y la paz de Dios. El final del sufrimiento nos puede suponer una pérdida. El regalo de lo que lo es todo tan solo puede aportar ganancia. Tú solo das, nunca quita. Y me creaste para que fuese como tú. De modo que el sacrificio es algo tan imposible para mí como lo es para ti. Yo también no puedo sino dar. Y así todas las cosas me son dadas para siempre. Aún soy tal como fui creado. Tu hijo no puede hacer sacrificio, pues es íntegro. Al ser su función, completarte a ti. Soy íntegro por ser tu hijo. No puedo perder, pues solo puedo dar, y así todo es mío eternamente. La misericordia y la paz de Dios son gratuitas. La salvación no cuesta nada. Es un regalo que se debe dar y recibir libremente, y esto es lo que vamos a aprender hoy. No se me pide que haga ningún sacrificio para encontrar la misericordia y la paz de Dios. That one completely obliterates the idea of sacrifice. We're not really giving up anything. Esa es mi aportación. That's what I have to say about that. So, estamos vacíos de palabra. We're empty.
It seems it's just another lesson on forgiveness. You only give, you never take away.
That's what all the lessons are.
Sí.
Sí. For me, I'm still having difficulty with that situation with Kalian. I see myself going back and forth in what I should be doing.
Did the guidance counselor reinforce that in you yesterday? That you should
No,
be
she was
doing?
she was very nice, and she was very, understanding. The way that it happened was good for me, because it didn't give me time to actually plan what I was going to say, because on Friday she had sent me a message if I could meet, Zoom meet at 1. And I said yes, but she never confirmed. So yesterday around 12:30, I sent her message saying, I never got a confirmation. I don't have a link or anything. Just let me know, when you want to meet. I'm available. And she sent me a message quickly saying, well, I have you down for now for 1. So it was perfect, because then the ego didn't have time to actually plan what I was going to say. Basically just coming up with excuses, right? But no, it was good, because I connected, and I was just like, I said, I have no idea how to help him. I don't know what to do. There's no way that he's going to connect. He's, just what we've talked about. So it's being here in the moment with him, and not trying to figure it out. That's what's hard, because he's struggling, and I know it's hard for him, but it's always been hard for him, because he's always hard on himself, like we all are. He has his ego, and it's completely formed, and it has nothing to do with how I've parented him. Because we've never been like strict parents, or you have to have all good grades. It's just happened. He was just always a good student. So I've never had to be strict with him, or follow through, or check on him, or how he's doing, because everything has always been good. So now it's just like, I don't know what to do. So my default is not to do anything when I don't know. So that's just the struggle for me right now, is just being in that place of not knowing, and trying not to figure it out.
Yeah.
Thinking that there's some situation or some problem that, seeing as if he was, I need to see him like he's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is perfect. And the way that has to happen. But it's hard.
Yeah. It's a big role being a parent.
Yeah, it's just really frustrating. Because it's not about the grades. I don't care about that. It's about, his emotional state and his frustration. And just like him just being in a state of hopelessness. And then the thing is that I see that, and I go back in, and I think, yeah, I understand that, because that's how I feel right now. Like all the, it's just mirroring back how I feel in that role of his mother. It's just we're just mirroring back the same emotion. It looks like it's different, but it's the same.
So it sounds like there was no solutions by the time you guys ended up the conversation.
No, there wasn't a specific solution. She just wants him to connect, and he doesn't want to. So I was able to, you know, in the form I said, okay, I'm not gonna make you connect, but you have, I asked him, can you send a message to all of your teachers and just tell them I'm struggling and I need help and I need you to help me. And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, so we're gonna break the pattern of you sleeping so late because he's waking up in the afternoon. And let's try with that. And then he has these like enhancement courses that on Wednesday, tomorrow. And so I told him, connect to those, do the, send your email and then connect on Wednesday. And then on Friday, he has a meeting with her. I don't know what's going to be resolved, if anything, but that's not what I want to, I don't want to force a plan, like force something with the ego. Ahora tú para que la cámara no esté encima de mí llorando, puñeta.
Déjame salirme de la esquina porque es que se me hace. This is my quiet corner. And I'm noticing that it's very difficult for me to open my mouth when I'm in that corner. Because
Get out of that corner.
I'm usually in silence, but I'm there and just watching and watching my judgments and stuff. Yeah, I feel there's nothing to be said. You know what to do. And you know what to see it. There's no risk in either. Yeah, just feel grateful for the tools and that's it. There's something you said yesterday that I really wanted to talk to you about. And you told me that I don't remember the exact words, but it sounded kind of strange. And then in meditation, I said, I want to talk to Astrid about this. How is it possible that anyone can put you in a place of fear?
Mm-hmm.
That was really the message. To go deeper into that.
Oh, sí, sí, yo entendí. Sí, I understood, and I understand what you're saying, because when I saw the video again, I had that thought too, like what you're saying. She's just referring
it's
to.
amazing how we can see the same things. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because I was just explaining to her. I think this was the Spanish part. You weren't in, Gary. We just saying, like, she's saying that she would like to spend time with me, but she doesn't want, when I get to Puerto Rico, but she doesn't want to be with like a whole bunch of people. And I said, I don't either. And she's like, that's not for you to decide, because I have I'm already with a bunch of people. And then I said, well, Viram is very good at what I said was, he's very conscious about not bringing me or putting me in situations that would create more fear for me. That was what I said, right? Eso es a lo que te refieres.
Sí.
So that's what she's referring to now. And then when it came out of my mouth, I wasn't completely there, but then when I saw the video, I was just like, no. So I had the same thought that you're saying right now. Yeah, and that applies to everything. It's like, if I'm in fear, it's because I've placed myself there. Not that anybody brings me fear for anything. But I was just reminded of how the Holy Spirit is really, is very gentle with us and doesn't take anything away from us while we still believe that we need it or we have it or whatever. Because he's not in the business of creating more fear for us. That was kind of like the thought that I was having. So you could probably just, instead of saying Vidam, just say the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit is not going to put me in a situation like that's going to create fear. I put myself there.
Exactly. But that's okay. When you recognize it, it doesn't, it's not that attractive. But
No.
While the ego is hiding and like, I don't know if it's a word, like, como que está maquinando, like.
Yeah, he's doing his machinations. That's the word, right?
It seems very attractive. Like, what is that? But now that you know how it works, it's just amazing how we can just be in our right mind and not move from there. Yeah, that state of non-judgment, it's so beautiful. When you know that you don't know what you know.
Sí, eso es lo que pasa.
And you don't have to tell anybody anything, and you don't have to fix anything, and you don't have, to change anything. And you stay there, and you see it, feeling the peace and the gratefulness and the gratitude. It's a very happy state. And see, how the ego wants to take you out of there. But it cannot. You can cry, you can feel a bit crushed, but it hasn't ever the power to take you out of there. And it's okay to feel whatever you need to feel in the moment. But you're not feeling it from where you think you're feeling it. You're still there. And you know that. And you can watch yourself, sewing and still knowing that you're not sewing. And that brings great comfort to know that the work that you have been allowing to be done through you has had so much success in terms of bringing you comfort. It doesn't matter how the situation comes or what the body feels, if it's pain or not wanting to get out of bed, the mirroring your child or whatever. It's that presence is never moved and deep down you know it. So I think all is cause for celebration. Yeah, because life, life happy, it's ups and downs. But we're not moved by that.
No, I think that the situation has presented itself, and I don't want to miss my opportunity with this to finally soltarlo, to release them. And also it's, the beautiful thing is that it's made us come together in the physical form, because we're not talking about this I don't know, it's it's been used as a tool for connection.
Exactly. That's all there is. And you say how I'm going to be present for this being here that seems to be my son, but it's really myself. And also So for all the opportunities that the situation is going to bring you to get in contact with so many others that are part of yourself too, and that's a beautiful way to see anything. Actually, that's the only loving way to see it, because you have to love everything as you love yourself, knowing that everything is part of you. And it can be so lightly done and so happily done with everything, that the terms that this is more difficult or this is less difficult or this is more important, or they lose all meaning, because all is the opportunity for the same. And it's doable.
Sí, sí.
Because we're doing it. We become present to each other in using whatever is happening. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems more difficult because I've given it more value. But it's just it's the same because I just in my mind with Adriana Kalian I make an exception, right? But it's the same.
No, right when you see it, it disappears. Right when you see it, it disappears. No longer believe it. So you notice the split in the mind, and that's where you get to choose with whom I am going to ally myself in this moment. And you know, the only real choice is your true self, which we call it Holy Spirit or Jesus or whatever fucking name we want to call it. But has no name. It only brings clarity to the mind. I say, okay, this is here. Let's heal it. There's nothing else to do with it. It doesn't be resolved. It needs to be healed. And it's not even in the level of the bodies and the form that it needs to be healed. So it has been healed. And then instead of trying to deal with something, we're just trying to recognize that everything is already healed, which is a greater and joyous state of mind, because then you recognize that I don't have to do fuck. And then you get to appreciate the greatness of the whole thing. And how come time and space cannot ever come to interrupt the communication between father and son. That's what you become witness to when you decide to observe something without judgment, knowing that everything is perfect for everybody that is involved. And when you're seeing that everywhere, you know that you're seeing with the Holy Spirit and the Christ vision, because the ego will never see like that. And then you say thank you. Así de simple. As simple as that.
Mm.
El ego se está tirando su pataleta. ¿Cómo se dice eso en inglés? The ego is having
a fit.
A fit. Yeah.
It's okay.
Because I can see it.
See, he cannot do anything more than to be trying to do fits, but that's what it does. He cannot do better than that. So it's always a war and conflict. So let it be. Yeah. So I had my last day of being a host of Airbnb today. So my daughter, Congratulations, mommy, you graduated. I replied, we graduated together.
Muy bien.
Yeah.
So you just closed it down, or did the island do that?
Yeah, we decided to close it down because she had the problem with the government and the aid and the stuff, and it was connected to the Airbnb. So I told her, listen, I'm not gonna keep that open when you're being exposed to this whole mess that has no beginning and no end. So
Yeah.
It seemed kind of simple and the logic thing to do in order not to make the problem bigger, but just cut it there and leave it to the Holy Spirit to see how that space is going to be used in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a project. The Airbnb was a project that she was the inspired one. And then I went along. And the first year was a success, but then the second year, the first 2 months of the year was trembling, like the first 3 months of the year was trembling heavily. And then the pandemic hit immediately. And then the aid that she received and then became the problem,
Right.
and it didn't make sense anymore. But anyway, it was a beautiful way for us to be open to change and to adapt and to receive many people in the space, which was recently transformed by inspiration to yeah, compartmentalized space in cement that was open from the kitchen back and a balcony open to the back in downstairs, and it became quite beautiful to share with others, and many people enjoyed it for the moment that it lasted. So,
Were you getting many tourists?
and I'm happy because I'm not feeling anxious. I'm not feeling any kind of anxiety, and that's beautiful.
She was receiving all kinds of people, tourists. Él te preguntó que quién estaba llegando, si eran turistas.
Bueno, before the pandemic, people from all over Europe, Eastern Europe, Japan, the Philippines, Russia, Ukraine, or people that love to travel and were very lovely people that were open to be, far, far away from the environment and very friendly and stuff. But then after the pandemic, it changed. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then she started to get internal workers, los trabajadores y venían, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
And at some point it kind of, sometimes it was a motel.
Yeah, people came one night to fuck. So I didn't give a thought to that because, even people that are traveling are fucking too. So I just started.
You gotta fuck. I mean, when you gotta fuck, you gotta fuck.
I started charging from fuck. Exactly. Yeah, I have no problem with people fucking. I just started charging for stains. That's it. But it's good to be able to close a chapter in gratitude and not regret. That's so lovely.
Sí.
It's so possible. And be open to anything that comes along. See? that's being miracle minded. Not because I'm choosing what is coming, but I'm choosing to be happy with whatever is coming. There's a miracle. Not knowing in form, but knowing in content. The content will be for the benefit of all. And I can accept that content happily. And therefore, I can accept the form happily too.
Yeah.
Ahí es donde estoy. That's where I'm at. And just seeing how I still want certain form.
Sí, sí, sí.
Es una locura, es una locura. Es como que, how, you know, after practicing and doing this,
Te quieres flagelar y estás
seemingly,
usando el pobre Calián.
seemingly as long, and then I get entangled in these situations, but not as before. I'm aware. It's strange because I'm aware that I'm getting entangled into this. I'm witnessing how I want to know what the plan is going to be and how to resolve this seeming problem, when in actuality it's not a problem, it's nothing. Still get confused with the form.
Mira, trust can solve any problem right now.
Exacto.
So hold on to your faith and your trust that you're working on to know that they are there. And don't allow yourself to be confused any second. Because you're deserving and your son is deserving and everybody's deserving. So be a witness to the miracle and not the confusion.
Sí, exacto.
That's the only thing that will keep you at peace and love and secure and everybody with you. I am here only to be truly helpful. Grow up. Kinder is over. We're going first grade now.
We're going to first grade.
Exactly.
Me encanta la metáfora que estás usando.
Okay. Yeah. The sleepy months are over. You have to work the whole day. No more napping time.
No, we're
This is
napping.
all the time.
Ay, mi madre.
Mm.
We're humming.
Amen, amen. I'm good.
Is there anything else? I'm good. Estamos bien.
No, I'm gonna meet with my father today and start lesson 1 with him. Well, I told him we'd do the first 10 lessons and see how it goes.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and I sent him Love Holds No Grievances, which he got yesterday, so, and a couple other books. So,
Nice.
see what he does with it. And there's one thing else. I was watching TV last night, which, you know, you two talk about it from time to time, and I was sitting there after watching, I don't know, an episode of something, and I was like, gosh, do I want to spend more time sitting here doing this? And then some of your conversations popped up, and I said, how can I watch this? How can I watch TV in a different way? And I'm well aware that if I'm going to read The Disappearance of the Universe, The Course from Mind, it's just it doesn't make sense. It doesn't touch with the depth that if I read from the heart or what have you. And so I'm always like, how can I listen? How can I watch this differently? And by the way, it was like, just watch with forgiveness. Watch with forgiveness, huh? And right away, one of the characters in this show was just like really challenging for me to watch, right? She's just over the top. And I'm like, oh. And so it was just one of those really sweet little moments where I found myself irritated with the show. Like, I don't really want to spend my time doing this. And then watching it become something that, I'm not sure I'm going to watch a whole lot more of it. Buenos dias.
Buenos días.
If I'm going to watch a lot more of it, but there's certainly a way to watch it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it's good for training because you're watching that on the screen, right? And then you can apply that to everything that supposedly is happening in real life.
Right. I mean, it's really what it becomes. It becomes such a training ground because I don't interact with a lot of people in my day. I don't have, certainly there's plenty of opportunities for forgiveness, but that just opens up a whole nother level.
See.
So, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, soon enough you can see that both are dreams.
See?
They are equally unreal and they are equally usable.
Sí.
Yeah.
Useful.
Usable.
Yeah.
Sí.
Both?
Exactly. You can use them both.
Yeah.
Because they are both unreal. But they irritate you. They have the capability to irritate you. So that shows that there is a potential for healing there. And then you become so activated that you know that there's nothing that you can get exposed to that cannot be used for your liberation. And then you begin to understand the magnitude of the mind and the responsibility that you have as a dreamer of the dream with all the characters that you put in your dream without feeling guilty. No. This is not for guilt. This is not for condemnation. This is not for judgment. This is the opportunity that the heavens are opening now for me to bless all my seeming errors that can be easily converted into miracles when I decide not to judge. That's it. Not to judge. Observe and not to judge. Nothing else.
See? Santo. Yeah, it just opened up a whole nother possibility of mind training. Like, I'm sitting here
you're
reading
learning
these books.
fast.
Mm-hmm.
I got to listen to Ken Wapnick and
glad-
read books. No, I can just now go sit and watch TV.
Exactly. When you have enough of Ken and the others. But you don't confuse one thing with the other. As soon as you have it clear, you can see it everywhere.
Yeah.
And then always when you find yourself in a very, very dark spot, you can return to Ken, for example. Or to maybe David or whatever you have found in your path that is useful. And you can do like a concentrated time there when you see that you're in a very deep, dark space.
Yeah.
And then when get from out of that dark space, you're seemingly more free and more expansive. And eventually you see that you can hear anything and everybody, and still the Holy Spirit will create everything for you just to get exactly what you need to be free in that moment.
Yeah. So if I miss some
Un
mornings, that
aplauso
might be
para
because
Gary.
I might be-
Aplauso para Gary.
if I don't show up some mornings, I might be just lost in some morning television program from the night before. Like I may not even get any sleep. Just
See, there's a good
mind training.
thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. You have insomnia, then start doing mind training with TV.
I'll get
I
on
mean,
your program, Astrid. I'll start watching late.
The Travelers.
Travelers
finished.
or just the time of watching late.
Yeah. I watched a movie last night. Well, it was before dinner. I was just like, I opened up Netflix and it was the first thing that come up, and I was like, I'm watching this. I don't even know what it is.
Wow.
And there was a lot of forgiveness. It was called Ava, and it was a hired assassin. And she was killing a bunch of people. And I was like, wow, it didn't move me at all. And it was good. We had good actors. John Malkovich was in it, and I like him. So when I saw his name, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna settle in and watch John Malkovich because I really like him. Anything that he does. So I recommend that movie, but there's a lot of blood.
¿Cómo se llama Eva?
Eva.
¿Ava o Eva?
Ava.
Ava.
Sí. I think it's a new movie, and obviously, it goes a little bit deeper with the main character, because she's going off script, and her employers are not happy. So, they're concerned about her mental state. So obviously they're not going to put her in therapy. They're just going to kill her.
Exactly. Not on medical leave.
They're not going to put her on medical leave. They just have to make a decision to kill her. And then they try to, and obviously they can't because she's the best.
Yeah, we do that with each other. Sometimes I'm still watching something and I just watch it just for the sake of being like solidary.
Yes.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, it certainly makes looking for a movie a lot easier. The times in the past, it's like, I don't know, we'll keep looking.
No, and now since everything is used, what I find is that usually what happens is that I open up Netflix and whatever pops up, if I'm not already watching something else, I just, because I still had some time before I had to cook dinner, so I thought I'll just see what I can watch. If I was actually gonna see Travelers because I still have some episodes, but that popped up, and that it just felt like, and that's what we were talking about yesterday. It comes to a point where everything is like, it's given in the moment, it's effortless, and actually there's no real decision that you have to take because the decision is being taken for you. It's being made for you.
It's presented.
You just have to, it's presented, and once you start to get into that flow, then you don't want to live in any other way. And at the beginning, it's spotty. It just happens but eventually, I think we'll get to the point where you live like that all the time.
Yeah.
See, it's a rehearsal of what has to be every second of your life, or your seeming life, because we're talking there.
Yeah, and at the beginning, it starts with things that we consider to be like minor or menor, like just picking a show, right? But then it'll get to the point where it'll happen even with the seemingly big problem that I have with Kalian. I want that feeling to be here also with every situation. Like, I don't want to make a decision. I want whatever has to be done to be presented in a way and that I know, and that there's no space in my mind where there's doubt or there's even considering other options. No, because this is the option that is being presented and it feels right. This is where I have to go. So when I start to analyze other options, that's when I know that the ego has gotten me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my prayer for today. I want to see like everything the same.
Well, I wore the same sweatshirt as I did the last couple of days, so.
No judgment here.
Same. No, I'm just saying so you can see me the same.
Yeah. The good thing about this is nobody knows how many days I've spent without showering.
Nobody can smell you. My strategy is changing shirts.
It's all perfect.
Well, it's been lovely. I'm very grateful.
Okay, yeah. Yo también, very grateful. Thank you very much. Gracias.
Thank you.
Los amo. I appreciate this. I'm gonna get my teeth cleaned today.
Nice.
We share everything here. Los amo.
Yeah.
Love you.
¿Qué te iba a decir?
No, I was going to ask Gary if he was going to do the running babysitter thing today.
That was yesterday. I took some pictures. I'll send you a picture of my godson. He's
1 year.
He's 14 months. I'll send a picture though.
Qué lindo.
Lovely.
Yeah, he's really sweet.
Wait,
Sweet.
when he gets
Sweet.
to, it will be very nice.
He's gonna be big.
Qué lindo.
Yep. Alrighty.
Gracias.
Love you.
Enjoy your day.
Igual. Adiós.